Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest, most exciting shifts happening in e-commerce right now, headless commerce. We're going to break down how you can use the raw power of Shopify with the incredible speed of Next.js to build online stores that are just unbelievably fast and flexible. So, let's dive right in. But first, let me just ask you something. Have you ever felt kind of boxed in by your e-commerce platform? You know that feeling when the site is just a little sluggish or you can't quite get the design to look and feel exactly the way you've imagined it? These are really common growing pains, and they all point to a basic limitation in the traditional way we've been building online stores for years. So, to really get the solution, we've got to understand the problem. For the longest time, the standard has been what we call an all-in-one, or monolithic, platform. This is where your beautiful customer-facing storefront and all the back-end business stuff are all just one single tightly bound unit. Now, don't get me wrong, these all-in-one platforms are fantastic for getting up and running fast. Everything's in one place, which is super simple. But, and this is a big but, that simplicity comes with a pretty serious trade-off. It can really put a ceiling on your creative control, it can hurt performance, and it makes it really tough to build a user experience that genuinely stands out from the crowd. So, what's the answer? Well, it's this new approach called headless commerce. The main idea is actually really simple, but it is so powerful. We're going to perform what I like to call the great decoupling. We're literally separating the head, that's the front end that your customers see, from the body, which is the back-end commerce engine doing all the heavy lifting. The whole key here is that this headless setup separates the presentation layer, what your customers interact with, from that functional back-end layer that's handling things like your inventory, your payments, all that critical stuff. They become two completely independent systems that just talk to each other through APIs. And when you put them side by side like this, the difference is, well, it's night and day, right? With the traditional monolith, you get that all-in-one package, but you're pretty much stuck inside its design limits. With headless, you're moving to this awesome bring-your-own-stack model, which gives you total creative and technical control to use the absolute best tools for the job. All right, so if we're bringing our own stack, what are the best tools for this new decoupled world? Today, we are focusing on an absolute powerhouse combination that really does give you the best of both worlds, using Shopify for your backend and Next.js for your front end. Let's start with the engine, the body. In our setup, Shopify is the undisputed champion. It just runs silently but oh so powerfully in the background, handling all the complex, mission-critical parts of selling things online. You get all of Shopify's famous reliability without being locked into its front-end themes. You know, the real win here is all the stuff you get to offload. Shopify just expertly handles your inventory, your payment processing, all the shipping integrations, customer accounts, the list goes on. And this frees up your developers to stop worrying about all that commerce logic and focus 100% on creating an amazing, unforgettable customer experience. Okay, so with Shopify as our engine, we need a truly world-class framework to build the head, the actual visual storefront. And that, my friends, is where Next.js comes in. It's a React framework that was specifically designed for building wicked fast, full-stack web applications. So why Next.js? Why is it the top choice for so many people? Well, it is all about performance. It uses server-side rendering for just blazing fast page loads. And hey, it's trusted by some of the biggest names in retail. We're talking Walmart, Target, and Nike. It just gives you that complete control to build exactly the experience you want with no compromises. Okay, so we've got our super powerful back-end body in Shopify, and we've got our beautiful front-end head built with Next.js. So how do we get them to talk to each other? Well, that connection is all bridged using APIs. And the setup is actually surprisingly straightforward. Inside your Shopify admin, you just install the Headless Sales channel. From there, you create a new storefront, and that generates the secure API credentials you're going to need. Then, over in your Next.js app, you use that token to fetch all your product data, your store data, everything you need. Now, the real secret sauce, the magic that makes this connection so incredibly efficient, is something called the Shopify Storefront GraphQL API. And this isn't just any old API, it is specifically designed for this exact kind of high-performance data fetching. And the reason it's so efficient really comes down to this one simple principle. With GraphQL, your Next.js app can ask for only the specific bits of information it needs for any given page. So unlike older APIs that might send you this huge bundle of data you don't even need, this super targeted approach dramatically cuts down on data transfer and just speeds everything up.
So we've covered the what, the who, and the how. But that brings us to the most important question of all, right? Why? Why go through all this trouble? What's the ultimate payoff? Well, it really boils down to two massive, game-changing benefits: incredible speed and total freedom. When you put it all together, the headless advantage is just crystal clear. You get absolutely superior performance thanks to Next.js and GraphQL. You get total creative control to build a brand experience that is 100% unique. You have the flexibility to use the modern tools you already know and love, and you can create these incredibly dynamic, personalized journeys for your customers. Ultimately, this whole setup gives you the absolute best of both worlds. You get the battle-tested, super reliable, and scalable commerce engine of Shopify doing all the heavy lifting under the hood, combined with complete and total control over the front-end experience your customers see.
See, by decoupling the head from the body, you're not just building another website. You're creating a flexible, powerful foundation for any future customer experience you can dream up. Your commerce engine is set. The only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?